Since it's been so nice out lately, I wanted to get outside and kind of mess around a little bit. One of the things that came to mind was doing a tri-stick that old Morris Kohansky teaches in his classes. You know, a lot of people have done those. I kind of thought, well, maybe I should do something a little more functional. And I thought, well, maybe I'll make some, let's say, some shelter stakes. And I got to thinking about it, and I thought, well, maybe I should try different woods. So I went ahead and took some hackberry. And I'm noticing on the hackberry how it shaves different. Now this piece has very few knots. How it works. I got some elm here. Once again, I'm reading the wood. I look at the knots. If I look at this, I know it's going to work pretty good up until I get to those knots. So it's not always just doing a project. It's learning something as you go. Reading the wood, learning the type of wood you're going to use. This is willow. I always have willow around. I always go down to the willows, sandbar willows, and I grab a bunch of it. It grows back so fast, washes out every year. I use the heck out of it. All right, so here's a shelter stake I made out of willow. On this one, I did some tapering, cleaned it, and I also practiced with my Victorinox farmer, cut all the way around it, and I was careful not to get into my cut, so I smoothed all that out. Rounded off the top so that when I put it in, it doesn't chip away. I had a downed locust this year, so I took a piece of locust, and I like the curve this one had to it. So I went ahead and cleaned it up, and I ended up taking some of this Spectraline and putting a loop in it, so you can drive this one all the way down in the ground, and it's super solid, and then you can just run your 550 cord through there. It makes it pretty good, or you can just drill a hole, run your 550 cord through there, whatever you want, but this makes it a little bit easier. And once again, tapered the top, chamfered it so it doesn't split out. A little bit of hackberry, nice, clean, easy to work. Once again, did some notching, tapering, cleaned it up. I'm not putting real sharp points on them because I know they'll probably break off. And this here is probably the weakest one on all of them, but it was still fun to do. A little Scotch Pine, and it's actually the top growth part of it that ended up dying off. So the pith in the middle is really soft, but it had the right branch on it that I wanted to give it a shot, and it had branches all the way around here, so it was fun to kind of clean that up and work with it. So I guess my whole point is that when you're doing projects, don't just do them just to do them. Do them trying to learn a little something every now and again. I learned about this Scotch Pine, that it's got a little bit of a twist in the grain to it. I never knew that before. So that's kind of neat to look at that, but it's still super soft, easy to work. No big surprises on the hackberry. The locust, this is a little bit wet yet. It's not seasoned all the way, and you can tell it's got some wormholes and it's got some character. So that might be fun to do some other stuff with. And my willow, as always, nice, soft, easy to work with. I like using this for deadfalls and stuff also. But I found that out because I used it a lot and I messed around with it. So I guess my point to this whole thing is practice using your tools. When you practice using the tools, try and learn a little bit something about the wood that you're working with. That way next time when you're in the woods, you can pick that type of wood up and say, hey, I remember this, I can use it for this, and it might help you out in the future. So just a little project, just a little fun, something to do.